What's up everybody, this is the Bread Man and welcome to my very first video on this channel. Today I will be doing my week 1 NFL predictions for this upcoming NFL season. This will be a weekly series that I will be doing on this channel throughout this NFL season. There's not much else to say other than that, so let's get right into the very first game of the season. To kick off the 2024 and 2025 NFL season, we got Thursday Night Football between the Baltimore Ravens and the back-to-back Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. We got the Ravens seeking revenge from the AFC Championship game the previous year. Baltimore is back for blood from the Kansas City Chiefs in this game. Will they find that blood? I think so, honestly. Like, Lamar Jackson wants this game so badly, it's not even funny. Despite the Kansas City Chiefs having the better offense, I feel like the Ravens run team will demolish the Chiefs defense, even with Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson in the backfield. I think those two are going to go insane this season. But I do think the Kansas City Chiefs are still going to put up a fight against the Ravens, like Patrick Mahomes always does, apart from that one Super Bowl against Tom Brady. But I still do think this is the game that the Chiefs, I don't think, should win, to be honest with you guys. Giving the Ravens pulling off the upset in Arrowhead 31-27. Up next, we have a Friday night game between the Green Bay Packers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles in Brazil. I personally think this game is a game of the week contender, in my opinion. I think both these teams have elite offenses and above average defenses. I think this game could go either way, in my opinion. So for this game, I'm going to go with the Packers on this one. I think they got the edge here, even though the Eagles have the better roster all around. I still think the Packers are going to come out slinging and never turn back. And also, James Bradbury is on the injury reserve list, so that doesn't help Philly at all. And also, no, Nick Sirianni last year looked like a fraud at the end of the season, and it showed in the playoffs too against the Buccaneers, where they got absolutely smoked. So give me the Packers beating the Eagles in Brazil in a very close game, 31-28. I've also heard that Brazil is also potentially a big threat to the NFL players, because I've seen some posts about how potentially dangerous Brazil can be, because it's not America, obviously, and I've seen some rumors of potential bad stuff could potentially happen to people over there. So hopefully everybody stays safe and nobody gets hurt or any trouble. To start off Sunday morning, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. I say this game for me is going to be a pretty big toss-up in my opinion, because no deciding factors is going to make me pick a team here. I could either see this game being a pretty good scoring game, or just every team struggles to score points because both teams have elite defenses. And I assume we all know that the Steelers defense has been good ever since Mike Tomlin ever showed up, which is a very long time ago. I think he's the longest tenured coach in the NFL right now. But I do think we can all agree that the Atlanta Falcons have a really good offense, and they're way better than the Steelers offense by a landslide. I personally think the Russell Wilson experiment in Pittsburgh is going to bomb. Not right away, but probably in a few games, and he'll get benched for Justin Fields, who might actually be pretty decent with not a terrible offense around him. But honestly, I just think Russell Wilson's not really that good anymore, in my opinion. I'm going to go with the Falcons beating Pittsburgh in a low-scoring game, 13-17. Next game, we got my Arizona Cardinals facing the Buffalo Bills. If I want to be 100% real here, I think this is a trap game for the Bills, in my opinion. Call me biased all you want. I really don't give a shit. The Bills defense has been really gutted in the past few years because they've been releasing a lot of veterans, and their defense doesn't really look good on paper, in my opinion. Josh Allen being a MVP candidate for the past few years, the problem is he's really careless with the ball. You can just see his turnover numbers. He's really not that careful with the football. Arizona, on the other hand, I think they're a very big sleeper in this game, and I do believe Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr. will shine in the first game they play with each other. So hopefully that is true, what I say, and hopefully that doesn't backfire on me. I'm taking the Cardinals against the Bills in a shootout, 38-31. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans taking on the Chicago Bears. The Bears revamped their whole entire offense to match around Caleb Williams, the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, and I think they did a really good job with that, especially with drafting Roman Dunze in the top 10. I can really see the Chicago Bears putting a beat down on the Titans. The Titans, on the other hand, have not had a good offseason, in my opinion. I can barely even name a single player they've picked up in free agency. Apart from Tony Pollard, probably. I can see Will Levis having a pretty good game, but nothing to wow NFL fans because there's a lot of pressure on Will Levis to be the sole number one option at quarterback. I got the Bears winning in dominant fashion, 17-38. Up next, we got the New England Patriots taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I have this game being an absolute beatdown by the Bengals because their roster is 10 times better than the Patriots. And that is why I'm making this game right here my guaranteed win of the week. What is my guaranteed win of the week, you might ask? It's a pick that I pick that I think is a guaranteed win in my opinion. I only get one game per week to make that guaranteed win on any game in this 1 week. And as I am doing this, I'm also making a challenge for myself. Since we have 18 weeks in this NFL season, if I get 9 guaranteed wins wrong, 9 flat, no 9.5, no fantasy bullshit, I will cut off my hair and donate it to a wig charity. Obviously, we can all say the Patriots are in a very big rebuild mode right now because they're starting Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, facing a Super Bowl contender in the Cincinnati Bengals. This is easily the game for the Bengals to dominate the Patriots in after the Patriots just traded Matthew Judon to the Atlanta Falcons. With that all being said, give me the Bengals to absolutely dominate the Patriots 10-41. After that, we got the Houston Texans playing the Indianapolis Colts. I think it's another blowout game to pick here, in my opinion. The Texans had a really good offseason by adding Stephon Diggs to the wide receiver room and Joe Mixon to the running back room, giving CJ Stroud a lot to work with. And on the other side of the ball, the defense got a lot better with Danielle Hunter joining Will Anderson on the defensive line, and those two are going to wreck the league together. It's not going to be funny. The Colts, on the other hand, did not have a good offseason, and Anthony Richardson did not have a good preseason, and coming off a very bad shoulder injury, we should expect not a bad season from him, but hopefully a really good season to the point where the Colts can not worry about a long-term quarterback. This game can be close, but I do think the Texans are going to put the shellacking on the Colts, 31-17. After that, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Miami Dolphins. I think Tyreek Hill will run around the whole entire Jags defense like it's kids flag football, not including his own kids. Tua Tagovailoa is due for a really good year, minus the big injuries he's had in his career, and hopefully he stays healthy because I really want to see him be at his full potential, and I already know the Dolphins are going to be a really good team this year. I still think the Jaguars are going to have a not so hot season, but Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence is not going to look good at all. I personally think he's going to have an average season and not level up his game. I'm taking the Dolphins over the Jaguars, 14-31. Next game, we got the Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I think this game is not going to be watched by anyone apart from Panthers and Saints fans, in my opinion. This game is just a snooze fest from my eyes. Derek Carr isn't good no more. The Saints offense looks terrible apart from Alvin Kamara and Chris Olave. The Panthers, on the other hand, just look that bad too. Bryce Young has a lot to prove in his second year, being the former Heisman winner at Alabama. His first year flopped, but it wasn't mostly his fault, but his size is another issue. But who do I think is going to win? The fucking Saints. Despite the bad Saints offense, the defense is going to look pretty good still because Marshawn Lattimore exists, Tyrann Mathieu still there, Cameron Jordan's still there. Like, the Saints defense can still put up some damage against the opposing offenses. Give me the Saints over the Panthers, 10-24. And for the last of the early games, we got the Minnesota Vikings playing the New York Giants. The Vikings only have Sam Darnold at the helm for the whole season, even though I do think he's going to look a lot better than a lot of people think with this good team around him. The Giants are a total shit show, and Daniel Jones is going to make sure the Giants know that they made the worst mistake in franchise history by extending him a new contract back last year. Give me the Vikings beating the Giants soundly 34-0. Moving on to the afternoon games, we got the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Los Angeles Chargers. I can really see this game going either way because both these teams look almost equal in my opinion. But with all that being said, I'm gonna give the edge to the Chargers in this game. I just think the Raiders aren't set with Gardner Minshew being the QB1 throughout this whole season. Like, I just don't think he can be consistent enough to play quarterback 1 for a whole season. Is he better than Jimmy Garoppolo and Aiden O'Connell combined? Hell yeah! I'm hoping Gardner Minshew proves me wrong here, but I'm taking the Chargers over the Raiders in a pretty good game, 24-28. Up next, we got the Russell Wilson Broncos. Oh, wait. We got the Denver Broncos taking on the Seattle Seahawks. We got the QB battle of the ages with Bo Nix and Geno Smith. Boy, it's going to be a sad one for the most part. The Broncos, in my opinion, they look a little outmatched with the Seahawks, with their defense looking super loaded with a lot of great talent. I think the defense for the Seahawks will take advantage of this rookie QB in his first ever game in the bigs. And I think Bo Nix won't really have a good game, but hopefully he does because fuck the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks will beat the Broncos with no sweat, 3-38. After that, we got the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Cleveland Browns. I can see the Dallas Cowboys blowing out the Browns here, but I honestly do not think it's going to happen. The Browns have a really good defense, and they can be a pretty good team despite Deshaun Watson being at quarterback. The Cowboys have balance on both sides of the football here, both offense and defense, and the only person that's going to fuck it all up is Mike McCarthy. The Browns, on the other hand, don't really have the balance, but they have one of the best defenses in the NFL, which could give the Cowboys some trouble. Will that matter in this game? No, I think the Browns will get pummeled for the most part. Give me the Cowboys beating the Broncos 31-13. Up now, we got the last of the day games with the Washington Commanders playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If I want the Commanders to win this game, I think Jaden Daniels has to ball the fuck out in this game. Do I think he's going to have a good first game? Maybe. Like, honestly, I'm rooting for Jaden Daniels because he's a former Arizona State Sun Devil, if you guys can see it right here. I think Jaden Daniels can put up a game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but I do not think it's going to be enough for the Commanders to win. I'm going with the Buccaneers beating the Commanders 24-31. And for the next game, we got a first Sunday night football game between the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Detroit Lions. I can really see this game being the best of the year right here in week 1. Two potential top 10 offenses going at each other's throats from the NFC wildcard game the year before. I can see the Lions either destroying the Rams here and shutting them down, or it's a complete bloodbath. In my opinion, this game is the hardest one to predict on this week 1 list, but I'm going to go with the Lions beating the Rams 31-41. And for the final game of week 1, we have a Monday Night Football showdown between the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers. This game can be fun to watch if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy and still has that back-to-back MVP form that he had a few years ago with the Green Bay Packers. I can see a pretty good quarterback duel with Aaron Rodgers and Brock Purdy playing on Monday Night Football. This should be a really good game, but I do think the 49ers have the better team all around, and they have been dominating Rodgers for the past 10 years. I'm going to take the 49ers over the Jets in a pretty good game, 24-35. And that, ladies and gentlemen, does it for my week 1 NFL predictions. With that all said, that's it for me from here. I hope you liked this video. Comment what you think of my list, and hopefully I can see what you guys think too. Subscribe for more videos like this, and I hope you all stay toasty.